So me and my wife are in a beautiful restaurant. All of a sudden she says, hold on, what I'm about to tell you, you're not gonna like. You may wanna get up out of here. She says, stop eating. You have pubic hairs all over your plate. I look down and I'm like, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today what I want to do is talk to you guys about overreacting or knee-jerk reactions and of course staying composed during certain situations in your life. So me and my wife are out in a beautiful Italian restaurant. We frequent this pretty often and we love the food there. So as we're having dinner, my wife turns, she looks at me and says, you're not gonna like what I'm about to tell you. I'm like, I already start moving around. I'm like, well, what's going on here? She goes, stop eating. You may wanna get up out of here pretty soon. And I say, what's going on here? She says, you have pubic hairs all over your plate. And I look at her plate and she tells me, there's pubic hairs all over my plate. So I look down and there they are. I use my finger and I say, you know what? Before I jump, before I do anything crazy, before I call the waiter and start freaking out and walk out of here and have a monster knee-jerk reaction, let me slow my roll. Let me compose myself. So I use my finger and I start grabbing these little things here. And then I look at them and I flip them over and I realize they're white. And I smell them and it's cheese. And I'm like, yeah, it's freaking cheese. And what had happened was that our first waiter came by. Well, we had two waiters that were kind of alternating, and he sprinkled the shaved cheese all over our dishes. And then our primary waiter came around, and then he said, hey, you want some more? We both said yes. But this time what happened, apparently, was the rind of the cheese, the back end that's black. He used that area, and the cheese that he sprinkled was literally the way that it dropped in the plates. On the plates was black. And if you look at it, it looked like pubic hairs. Like there was no way that you would not think there were pubic hairs all over your plate. Lord. So, a learning lesson. And it's a very powerful learning lesson because most men overreact. There are knee-jerk reactions all over the place. They see something, they assume it, boom, and they're into high gear. So for me, it was more about composure and kind of digging in a little bit further than that, figuring out, hey, that what I was seeing was really tricking my eyes and it wasn't what I thought it was initially. And men throughout history have lived lives where they're constantly overreacting. Our world is based on overreaction. Very rarely do you see people maintain decorum and composure anywhere. It's usually a quick decision maker and it's, all hell breaks loose and everybody goes at it. So I'm always talking about preparing ourselves and being present, having situational awareness, understanding yourself, the area that you're occupying, and more importantly, having that balance of wisdom and savageness, if that's even a word, right? Being a savage and being wise, right? A balance of both. And of course, there are circumstances that dictate you being a badass, a savage, a tiger, a lion, whatever it may be. But hey guys, we'll get back to the video here. I want to introduce Man of War Elite Performance. It took us almost 2 years to develop this. We've been testing it over and over again, and we believe we have an amazing product here. First off, the EAA for recovery, the best of the best. We have a tremendous amount of Aquamin, 3 times the closest competitor. If you don't know what Aquamin is, research it. It's a great recovery tool. Also, here we have creatine. A lot of junk out there. A lot of junk. Protein. You want to talk about best tasting protein? It took us 16 different times to work out the flavor in this and make it the cleanest possible. This is a chocolate flavor, the best chocolate flavor that I've ever had, and I think that you will ever have. This is 24 grams of protein per scoop, and it's a very, very clean tasting protein. We'd love for you to purchase this, try it out, and let me know. This other side is where most of the time you're going to live. It's the side where you're composed, where you're wise, where you are making good decisions. I mean, and this is where you really want to focus on, because most men overreact the moment that they get challenged with something difficult, the moment that something doesn't go their way. They're almost like pouty little kids. They get angry, they get resentment, a lot of resentment stays inside of a lot of men. Let that go. Let that go. Overreaction to outside stimuli is going to lead you down a path where you're constantly going to be angry, you're constantly going to be confused, you are really going to drive yourself crazy. So instead, you need to find that happy medium where you can settle into your own, have assuredness, confidence, have a system and a process of breaking things down. For example, something goes bad in your life. Maybe instead of overreacting, you need to figure out, okay, why did it go bad? How can I change it? What are the things that I can do moving forward that I can learn from this? And if you have that type of process in your life, things like what happened to me and my wife would kind of settle into a groove. It wouldn't be like, oh my God, I got to get out of here, this restaurant, call the waiter, and just walk out. Because most people kind of, they're going to freak out when they see pubic hair on their plates or something that they think is pubic hair. And as much as a situation like this, and I'm taking this and learning from it, you should, in your own life, take situations on the daily and learn from them. And I'll tell you, the most powerful thing that you can do in your life, by far and away, is learning how to systemize success, learning how to process negativity and turn it into positivity in your life. So if you can win more times than you lose in your life, you are moving towards success. So you're literally systemizing success in your life. Simply put, you win more than you lose equals you are moving in the right direction in your life. So you're not going to be able to do that if you're constantly overreacting to things. It's just not going to happen. Your life is going to be in a constant state of chaos. So take this for what it's worth. Use it to learn. This was an experience for me. I'm glad the way that I handled it, because it really would have ruined the night for us. And boy, we needed a night out. There was a lot of stress, and in the end, we could laugh about it. And truly, it was a blessing in disguise, because we talked about it all night. We cracked up, and it turned out to be a beautiful night. So I used it to my advantage. I maintained composure throughout the entire thing. I processed it and moved on. You should do the same in your life. All right, guys, if you're enjoying this channel, I want you to do me a favor. Smash the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, share it, comment, whatever you can do to spread the wealth here. I really appreciate you. We're really trying to get this channel moving in the right direction, and we're working really against YouTube and all social media. Anything that has to do with manhood, anything that has to do with masculinity, they don't like. But we are moving forward despite. It doesn't matter what they're doing, we're doing good work here. So support us, and we'll continue bringing you great content. God bless you, and see you on the next one.